How to Stay Calm in Every Situation, Living Beyond Validation, written and published by Sonic Tome. In a world overflowing with noise and distractions, the quest for inner calm has never felt more urgent. Life unfolds in a whirlwind of expectations, responsibilities, and relentless pursuits, often leaving us grappling with anxiety and unease. Each day can feel like an uphill battle against an overwhelming tide of external pressures and internal conflicts, pushing us away from the tranquility we desperately seek. Yet amid the chaos, there exists a profound power, a quiet resilience that resides within us all. This inner strength, often obscured by the clamor of modern life, is waiting to be discovered. It is a source of unshakable peace that can guide us through the storm, enabling us to embrace the present moment with clarity and purpose. The ability to remain calm in any situation is not merely a skill. It is an art form, a transformative journey that can redefine our relationship with ourselves and the world around us. Imagine moving through life with grace and assurance, regardless of the challenges that arise. Picture a reality where you respond to difficulties not with frustration or fear, but with a sense of ease and understanding. This journey begins by recognizing that our emotional responses do not have to govern us. Instead, we have the capacity to observe our feelings without being consumed by them, to create space for reflection and awareness in the midst of life's unpredictable currents. As we embark on this exploration, we will uncover the essential practices that cultivate a profound sense of inner peace, enabling us to navigate life's ups and downs with a steady heart and a clear mind. We will delve into the art of letting go of the need for validation, learning to embrace our authentic selves. Through self-discovery and introspection, we will reveal the hidden layers of resilience that exist within each of us. Moreover, we will explore the gentle yet powerful shift from external dependence to inner reliance, illuminating the path towards self-sufficiency and emotional balance. In doing so, we will uncover the beauty of stillness, finding strength not just in silence, but in the deliberate choice to be present, fully engaged in each moment. This transformative journey invites you to craft a sanctuary within, where peace is not a fleeting feeling, but a steadfast companion. Every chapter will invite you to reflect deeply, to challenge preconceived notions, and to embrace the complexities of your emotional landscape. As we navigate this journey together, you will discover that calm is not a distant goal, but a way of being that can be nurtured and developed. You are invited to step into this realm of exploration, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the potential for lasting tranquility lies at your fingertips. Prepare to embark on a transformative adventure that will awaken your inner quiet and help you cultivate a life filled with harmony, resilience, and peace. This journey is not just about finding calm, it is about living authentically, free from the shackles of external validation, and discovering the profound strength that arises when we trust ourselves and our unique path. Welcome to a journey that promises to illuminate the way to a life of genuine tranquility, where each moment is an opportunity to deepen your connection with the essence of who you truly are. Chapter 1. The Quest for Inner Quiet. To truly experience calm, we must first become familiar with the elusive stillness already within us. This isn't a place of quiet that depends on a lack of external noise, but rather an unbreakable tranquility, undisturbed by life's countless demands and challenges. Finding this internal quiet requires us to detach from the constant rush to be validated or recognized by the outside world. When we stop feeding our need for approval, we realize that inner peace is not a destination to reach, but an inherent state waiting to be rediscovered. The search for inner quiet begins by slowing down the reflex to react immediately to every external event or person. Our attention, which usually darts from one distraction to another, must be gently directed inward, creating a space where we can observe thoughts and emotions rather than being swept away by them. In this space, it becomes possible to witness our impulses without acting on them, to recognize that we are not merely a collection of reactions, but beings capable of experiencing life with composure and awareness. As our attention turns inward, the noise of the outer world seems to quiet down, not because it has changed, but because we have transformed the way we interact with it. Inner quiet is strengthened when we learn to let go of the need for approval. If we constantly shape our thoughts and actions around gaining others' acceptance, we give away the peace that is naturally ours. To break this cycle, we begin by recognizing that the quest for validation from others is an unending road, one that constantly shifts based on external circumstances beyond our control. In contrast, the peace within us is self-sustaining and requires no external affirmation. By letting go of the need to be validated, we shift our focus from what others might think of us to what we genuinely feel within ourselves. This freedom from outside opinions empowers us to find a stable ground within, a place that remains calm regardless of changing opinions or unpredictable situations. In our modern world, constant connectivity and exposure to others' lives make it easy to lose sight of this quiet space within. Yet, the more we cultivate the ability to turn inward and find peace away from the bombardment of information, the stronger our inner calm becomes. This isn't about isolating ourselves, but rather about creating a sense of inner sanctuary where we can return anytime, even amid chaos. By making this quiet space a priority, we find ourselves less influenced by the pull of external judgments and more attuned to our own true self. Learning to enter this inner space with ease requires that we develop patience and a gentle approach with ourselves. As we begin to observe our thoughts without judgment, we find that even those that seem restless or troubling lose their power over us. We start to recognize patterns in our thoughts and emotions, allowing us to let go of those that disrupt our peace. The unshakable calm within us isn't a product of controlling every thought. It's a result of realizing that no single thought can define or disturb our true self. Instead of resisting thoughts that arise, we welcome them as passing visitors, knowing that they are only temporary, and beneath them lies a more enduring serenity. Our true inner quiet is not an absence of emotions, but a deeper sense of trust that exists beyond them. When we connect with this quiet, we gain a sense of freedom from the constant judgments of good or bad, right or wrong, success or failure. We become less entangled in labels and judgments, and more aligned with the unchanging part of ourselves that remains calm, no matter what arises. This deeper state of calm isn't tied to our outer experiences, but exists independently of them. It's here that we discover true peace, a quiet that isn't affected by circumstance, one that supports us in staying grounded and centered. As we come closer to this inner quiet, we recognize that it is the foundation upon which our most authentic life is built. In this space, we gain clarity on our actions, thoughts, and goals. We begin to live in a way that reflects our true desires and values, unclouded by external pressures. This is the journey of finding unshakable peace, an enduring quiet that brings us back to who we are, at our very core, every time we enter its depths. Chapter 2. Breaking the feedback loop. The desire for reassurance is deeply woven into our nature. It often drives us to seek affirmation from others, to feel secure in our choices, beliefs, and self-worth. However, as this dependency grows, it begins to overshadow our ability to trust our own intuition and judgment. To break free from this cycle, we must look inward and explore the roots of our need for constant feedback. It is only by understanding this dependence that we can start to reclaim our inner authority. At the heart of breaking this loop lies a shift in perspective. When we place too much weight on others' opinions, our sense of self becomes fragmented, reflecting back only what others see, rather than what we know to be true within. By continuously seeking validation, we allow our self-worth to fluctuate based on external factors, becoming reactive rather than stable and centered. Releasing the need for reassurance means grounding ourselves in a sense of self that isn't influenced by praise or criticism. It means embracing our inner confidence and trusting in our own decisions, even in the absence of others' approval. This shift requires us to cultivate a strong awareness of our values and inner voice. When we know our values, we gain a foundation that remains stable regardless of the circumstances or opinions surrounding us. We no longer look to others to validate our decisions. Instead, we look within, anchoring ourselves in what feels aligned with our beliefs and desires. This alignment builds a quiet assurance, one that doesn't need to be constantly fed or reinforced. As we deepen our connection to our values, we find ourselves less affected by the feedback loop, more resilient in the face of both approval and disapproval. To transcend the cycle of validation, it's essential to let go of the fear of judgment. Often, the craving for reassurance stems from an underlying anxiety that without approval, we are somehow unworthy. When we learn to release this fear, we find that the freedom to be ourselves becomes more valuable than any fleeting approval. It is in this freedom that we discover the strength to act authentically and live in alignment with our true self, no longer tethered to the need for acceptance. This doesn't mean we disregard others' perspectives entirely. Rather, we listen to them without letting them dictate our self-worth. A crucial part of this journey is recognizing the difference between genuine feedback and validation seeking. Genuine feedback is constructive, allowing us to grow and expand our understanding. In contrast, validation seeking is driven by a need to soothe our insecurities. When we approach feedback as an opportunity to learn, we can accept it without letting it define us. We can take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't, maintaining our sense of self regardless of others' opinions. In this way, we create a healthy relationship with feedback, one that supports growth without fueling the need for constant reassurance. Letting go of reassurance also opens us to experience life without the filters of expectation. When we no longer depend on others to confirm our worth, we are free to engage with the world openly and authentically. Our interactions become less transactional and more genuine, as we are no longer performing for approval. This liberation from validation seeking brings a lightness and joy that stems from knowing that our value is intrinsic, not something that needs to be proven or earned. As we step further away from the feedback loop, we begin to see that the opinions of others are reflections of their own perspectives, shaped by their experiences and beliefs. They do not hold the absolute truth about who we are. By recognizing this, we release the weight of others' judgments, understanding that their opinions are not mirrors of our worth but simply views from their unique vantage point. This realization allows us to take ownership of our identity, defining ourselves not by others' perceptions, but by our own self-awareness and intentions. In breaking the feedback loop, we cultivate a resilient confidence that stands firm amid both praise and criticism. This confidence doesn't rely on external affirmation, but on the quiet certainty within, a certainty that comes from knowing who we are beyond others' expectations. We become free to navigate our path with a sense of purpose, guided not by the shifting winds of validation, but by the steady compass of our inner truth. Chapter 3. The Unseen Strength. Deep within each of us lies an unyielding strength, often hidden beneath layers of doubt, fear, and external influence. This strength is not something to be developed from scratch, as many believe, but rather something to be uncovered and brought into awareness. It is a resilience we are born with, an internal force that, when embraced, empowers us to navigate life's challenges without succumbing to despair or uncertainty. To connect with this inner resilience, it's essential first to quiet the mind and turn away from the noise of self-doubt. This quieting process allows us to sense the subtle yet undeniable presence of our own strength. Often this strength reveals itself not in grand moments of triumph, but in small acts of endurance, in times when we find ourselves still standing despite hardship. It appears when we adapt, adjust, and continue, even when situations seem insurmountable. By recognizing these quiet moments of resilience, we can begin to trust in our own ability to persevere, realizing that strength is not about overpowering challenges, but withstanding them with grace and fortitude. Our unseen strength also emerges when we face uncertainty. Many people wait until they feel ready or fully prepared to act, but true resilience teaches us that we can step forward, even without complete assurance. It is in these moments of risk, when we dare to proceed without guarantees, that our strength becomes visible to us. Each step taken in uncertainty reinforces the quiet resilience within, gradually transforming fear into confidence and reinforcing the conviction that we can handle what comes our way. As we continue to embrace life's unpredictability, our capacity for endurance grows, revealing a level of strength we may not have known we possessed. Inner resilience is further deepened through self-trust. This trust does not mean we are immune to setbacks, nor does it imply that we will always have the answers. Instead, it is a faith in our ability to learn, adapt, and recover. When we stop questioning our worth or doubting our decisions, we create an unshakable foundation that can support us through life's complexities. This self-trust builds a quiet strength that doesn't need validation. It is self-sustaining, nurtured by the knowledge that we can face difficulties with courage and poise. At times, resilience requires us to let go. Holding on tightly to situations, people, or outcomes often drains our inner strength. By learning to release what no longer serves us, we make room for growth, cultivating a resilience that is flexible and adaptable. This kind of strength is not about rigidly enduring all things, but about knowing when to release and move forward without regret. Letting go becomes a source of power, freeing us from the weight of unnecessary burdens and allowing us to focus on what truly matters. This inner adaptability is a hallmark of resilient strength, one that enables us to thrive in a world of constant change. Another layer of inner resilience comes from our willingness to learn from adversity. Challenges are not merely obstacles, but opportunities to refine our inner fortitude. Each difficulty brings with it the chance to grow, to understand ourselves better, and to uncover new dimensions of our own strength. In this way, hardship transforms into a teacher, guiding us deeper into our resilience. By welcoming life's lessons, no matter how uncomfortable, we expand our capacity to endure and transform, reinforcing our inner strength with every experience. This unseen strength also has a profound connection to self-compassion. Far from being a soft quality, self-compassion requires immense courage, as it allows us to accept our imperfections without self-judgment. By embracing our vulnerabilities, we fortify our resilience, creating a foundation that doesn't crumble in the face of failure or criticism. This compassionate resilience is not about striving to be invulnerable, but about finding the courage to be whole, to accept every aspect of ourselves as part of the journey. When we view setbacks with understanding instead of self-criticism, our inner strength grows, supported by a self-kindness that does not waver, even in the face of challenges. To live from a place of inner strength is to navigate life with a quiet, unbreakable resilience that flows from within. This strength is not dependent on circumstances. It remains steady, allowing us to meet each experience without losing our center. In this way, our unseen strength becomes a guiding force, an internal compass that leads us through life with a steady confidence, no matter what arises. Chapter 4. The Power of Stillness in Action. In the rush and noise of daily life, true calm is often mistaken as something passive, like retreating from activity or halting progress. Yet, stillness isn't the absence of motion. It's a state of mind that remains grounded and undisturbed regardless of what's happening around us. This quality allows us to bring clarity, intention, and purpose to everything we do. Rather than trying to escape or slow down, we cultivate the ability to be fully present in the midst of any situation, finding a deeper sense of focus and peace within ourselves that flows into every action. When we learn to stay calm amid activity, we become more perceptive. Rather than reacting to each event or emotion, we start to respond from a place of awareness. This stillness sharpens our focus and allows us to see situations as they are, free from the fog of anxiety or haste. With this clarity, our decisions become more deliberate, thoughtful, and in tune with our true intentions, rather than impulsively guided by fleeting reactions. We operate not from pressure, but from purpose. As we engage with the world, stillness transforms our actions, making them more effective and meaningful, without unnecessary mental strain. Presence in action is rooted in accepting the flow of each moment. There will always be demands and distractions, but by anchoring ourselves in the present, we prevent them from overwhelming us. This mindset shifts our focus from worrying about the outcomes to embracing the process itself. We stop anxiously rushing toward the finish line, instead investing our energy in doing each task with awareness. The more present we are, the more we can connect with what we are doing and, in turn, feel a sense of fulfillment that's not dependent on external achievement, but on the quality of our engagement. Embracing stillness in the midst of activity also creates a deep resilience. We come to realize that external chaos does not need to disturb our internal peace. In fact, the ability to find stillness within is an act of inner strength, empowering us to meet challenges without losing our composure. When we cultivate this resilience, we become more adaptable, able to flow with unexpected situations instead of resisting or feeling stressed. This adaptability comes from trusting in our capacity to handle whatever arises, allowing us to move with the currents of life rather than be tossed by them. At the same time, stillness in action heightens our appreciation for each moment. When we're fully present, even the simplest activities gain significance. We notice the subtleties we might have otherwise missed, the details of our surroundings, the quality of our interactions, and the nuances of our work. These details add depth to our experience, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and connection. The joy of presence transforms our experience of life, making each moment feel fuller, more alive, and ultimately, more rewarding. This stillness does not mean ignoring or suppressing emotions, but observing them with calm awareness, allowing them to pass without clinging to them or pushing them away. When we approach emotions with this mindset, we become less reactive, finding that even strong feelings do not disrupt our inner calm. By practicing this acceptance, we allow emotions to flow naturally, learning from them without being controlled by them. In this way, stillness becomes a space of inner balance, where we experience life with a calm steadiness that enhances both our well-being and our ability to engage with others. Finding calm within action also leads to a profound sense of self-trust. When we are present, fully aware of our thoughts and actions, we gain confidence in our own judgment. We act from a place of integrity, knowing that each choice is guided by our values rather than by external pressures or distractions. This self-trust empowers us to act decisively, secure in the knowledge that we are aligned with our deeper purpose. When we trust ourselves in this way, we find a quiet power that doesn't require validation or approval, freeing us from doubt and allowing us to move forward with confidence. In every action, stillness offers us a pathway to deeper insight. Instead of rushing through tasks, we allow ourselves to be receptive to each moment, open to learning and growth. This openness fosters creativity, as we're no longer bound by rigid expectations or stress, but free to explore new possibilities and solutions. It transforms each action into an opportunity for self-discovery, as we encounter new aspects of ourselves in the process. In this way, the stillness we cultivate in action becomes a wellspring of inspiration, fueling our lives with a sense of purpose that is both peaceful and powerful. Chapter 5. The Gentle Art of Letting Go. Letting go is a subtle internal process that invites us to release the things that do not serve us, the concerns beyond our control, and the attachments that hold us back. This isn't about forcibly pushing things away or dismissing them. Instead, it's about allowing what naturally no longer fits to fall away. Just as leaves detach from trees in their season, we too can learn to let go with grace, trusting in the cycle of release and renewal. One of the first steps in this gentle art is cultivating an understanding of what is within our control. In any situation, there are aspects we can influence and others we cannot. By focusing on what is truly ours to manage, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we begin to find a sense of peace, allowing the rest to unfold as it will. The act of letting go often starts with a shift in focus. Rather than obsessing over outcomes or clinging to specific desires, we place our energy on what we can do in the present moment. This mindful attention transforms our experience, reducing anxiety and bringing a lightness to our lives. Letting go also involves releasing our expectations. Many of our frustrations and disappointments arise not from the reality of what happens, but from our attachment to how we thought things should be. Expectations create rigid boundaries that can lead to suffering when life unfolds differently. By loosening our grip on these expectations, we free ourselves to appreciate each moment as it comes, without the burden of how it should look or feel. we begin to see that life has its own rhythm, and that sometimes what we receive is more profound than what we originally desired. In releasing our hold on expected outcomes, we open ourselves to unexpected blessings. As we learn to let go, we also begin to shed attachments. Attachments to people, achievements, and even old versions of ourselves can weigh us down, preventing growth and movement. These attachments often stem from fear of loss, fear of change, or fear of the unknown. Yet by gradually letting go, we find that the loss we feared was an illusion. We were simply making space for something new to take root. In this way, letting go is not an act of deprivation, but a freeing up of energy that allows us to move forward with greater freedom. Letting go also deepens our sense of trust. Life's uncertainties can be unsettling, but when we release the need to control every outcome, we begin to develop a trust in life's unfolding. This doesn't mean we become passive or resigned. Rather, it means we engage with life from a place of calm assurance, knowing that not every answer is ours to hold. Trusting in this process enables us to surrender the burden of constant control, allowing life to flow naturally. In this state of openness, we find ourselves more resilient, more adaptable, and more accepting of the mystery that surrounds us. The art of letting go also invites us to look at forgiveness. Holding on to grievances, anger, or regret ties us to past events, trapping our energy in a cycle of resentment. When we let go of these feelings, we free ourselves from the weight of the past. Forgiveness, in this sense, is not about condoning actions or erasing memories. It is about releasing our attachment to the pain those memories hold. By letting go, we reclaim our peace, taking back the power that was once tied up in holding on to old wounds. This forgiveness is a gentle, self-compassionate process, one that liberates us and allows us to move forward unburdened. Detachment, too, is an essential element in letting go. It is not a lack of care or love, but a healthy distance from the desire to control outcomes. Detachment enables us to love without possessing, to work without over-identifying, and to live without excessive attachment to things. This freedom of mind brings a profound sense of peace, as we realize we do not need to cling to anything or anyone to feel whole. Through detachment, we experience life's beauty without becoming bound by it, appreciating it fully and letting it pass when the time comes. Ultimately, letting go nurtures a lightness of being. It allows us to move through life with a sense of freedom, unencumbered by unnecessary attachments or desires. We find that we can face change with grace, meet challenges with a calm heart, and live with a sense of spaciousness that cannot be achieved through clinging. As we let go, we make room for new possibilities, opening ourselves to experiences we could not have anticipated or planned. In embracing this gentle art, we discover that true strength lies not in holding on, but in the courage to release, creating a life filled with ease, clarity, and boundless potential. Chapter 6. Reflections of Self. When we stand face to face with our own reflection, unfiltered by external voices and opinions, we begin to see ourselves for who we truly are. This image, free from the layers of validation and judgment we accumulate over time, reveals our raw essence. Embracing this self without the expectations of others means quieting the noise of social mirrors and diving deep into the self that exists beyond labels, roles, and external validations. In a world where identities are often shaped by outside approval, breaking away from the need for constant validation can be challenging. We are surrounded by influences that attempt to define us, whether from family, friends, or society at large. These voices often seep into our own perception, creating an identity that is part us and part expectation. To reflect upon ourselves truly, we must gently release these borrowed beliefs and strip away the influence others have over how we see ourselves. This is a process of unlayering, peeling back the filters that cloud our own vision. As we do, we start to recognize which aspects of ourselves are genuine and which were adopted out of a desire to fit in. Living with self-acceptance calls for courage, as it requires looking at every part of who we are, even the shadows. These parts might carry flaws, vulnerabilities, or past mistakes, yet they are intrinsic pieces of our wholeness. Embracing them means owning every part of our journey, knowing that these imperfections are as valuable as our strengths. They make us authentic, grounded, and real. In accepting our own vulnerabilities, we soften into ourselves, finding strength in the honesty of our being. This willingness to embrace all facets without shame or self-critique builds resilience and fosters a deep sense of inner peace. It is within this honest self-reflection that we find true freedom. When we no longer shape ourselves according to what others might think, we become open to self-expression in its purest form. This newfound authenticity seeps into everything we do. Our words, actions, and decisions start to reflect our innermost values, rather than external expectations. In such moments, we experience a flow, a sense of ease that only comes when we are genuinely aligned with ourselves. Living in this alignment brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment that cannot be reached by simply meeting external standards. We no longer feel the need to explain or justify our choices. We simply live in a way that feels right for us. With self-embrace also comes the realization that we are enough, just as we are. In a world that often measures worth through achievement and social validation, it is easy to feel inadequate. But as we turn inward, embracing ourselves for who we are, we learn that our worth is inherent, needing no external proof. This belief becomes our foundation, allowing us to walk through life with a quiet confidence. Self-worth anchored in our own understanding becomes unshakable, no longer tied to achievements, possessions, or popularity. It is rooted in the simple yet profound awareness that we are valuable by the very nature of our existence. True self-acceptance brings with it a deep sense of belonging, not to any group or place, but to ourselves. When we can stand firmly in our own company, without seeking approval or validation, we find a sanctuary within. This inner belonging is resilient and provides a source of comfort and assurance. In this space, we feel whole, connected to the self that remains steady regardless of circumstances. This inner belonging allows us to venture out into the world, no longer seeking others to complete us, but to connect with them from a place of wholeness. This journey of self-reflection and acceptance is not always easy, as it asks us to continuously return to ourselves, especially in moments of doubt or criticism. But each time we choose to trust ourselves, we reinforce our inner strength, gradually building an unshakable foundation. This trust grows over time, becoming a powerful guide in every aspect of life. We start to listen to our inner voice above all else, making decisions that honor our own truth. As we embrace our reflections, we find liberation from the limitations others may have imposed upon us, and from the limitations we may have placed upon ourselves. This freedom allows us to navigate life with a clear sense of direction, empowered by a deeper understanding of who we are. We come to realize that our greatest purpose is to fully be ourselves, that there is nothing more profound or powerful than this simple act. This journey within unfolds without end, as each day brings new discoveries and deeper self-understanding. Through this continuous embrace, we create a life that is deeply aligned with who we are, one that resonates with authenticity, peace, and fulfillment. Chapter 7. The Freedom of Being. True freedom lies in aligning each action, each decision, with one's own inner compass. This alignment, however, requires a dedicated attunement to one's values and the courage to act in ways that honor them, regardless of outside opinions or pressures. This kind of freedom is subtle but powerful, as it allows us to live authentically, undistracted by the noise of external expectations. It is about making choices that resonate with our own truth, rather than conforming to prescribed standards or societal molds. Living freely begins with a commitment to knowing oneself deeply, with an understanding that each person's path is unique. This journey within calls for careful introspection, listening to that inner voice, and letting it guide the direction of our lives. Here, external markers like status or approval hold little sway. Instead, we find value in the simplicity of knowing we are living according to our own principles, no matter how unconventional they may seem to others. This is where the true joy of freedom is discovered, not in seeking recognition, but in the calm assurance that our actions reflect who we are at the core. As we live by our own values, a natural confidence emerges. This is not an assertive confidence, nor one dependent on approval. Rather, it is a quiet, unshakable certainty. We walk through life with a sense of purpose and direction, able to navigate any situation with clarity. With this confidence, doubts become less intimidating. When our decisions are firmly rooted in what we believe, we become resilient against the criticisms and judgments that might otherwise throw us off course. This resilience does not close us off from others, but instead allows us to engage with the world openly, without compromising our essence. In this freedom of being, we recognize the power of choice, how each moment presents us with the opportunity to act in harmony with ourselves. This freedom is expansive. It allows us to shape our lives with intention and clarity, rather than reacting to circumstances by default. Every choice, no matter how small, becomes a reflection of our innermost beliefs. And as we align with these beliefs, we cultivate a life rich with purpose and meaning, free from the restless chase for validation. The joy of each choice lies not in the outcome, but in the act of choosing from a place of self-awareness. Being guided by an inner compass also opens the door to spontaneity, to embracing life in a way that's unburdened by rigid plans or expectations. Living this way allows us to flow with life's changes, adapting with ease while remaining true to ourselves. This openness to spontaneity does not mean we drift aimlessly. Rather, it is a freedom to respond to life's shifts without losing our sense of self. It is the ability to move with life's rhythm, understanding that not everything needs to be controlled. This balance of direction and adaptability is what brings fulfillment to each moment, knowing we are not bound by the constraints of others' expectations. This freedom also brings us closer to the people around us, as we engage more genuinely without hidden motives or pretenses. Our relationships become deeper and more meaningful, built on mutual respect for each person's individuality. We connect with others from a place of honesty, and the bonds we create reflect the freedom we feel within. There is no need to alter ourselves to fit in or be accepted, as we find contentment in the acceptance we have given ourselves. In doing so, we attract others who value the same honesty, creating connections that are free from the need for approval or validation. Embracing the freedom of being does not mean rejecting all structure. It means choosing structures that support, rather than confine, our true selves. It is understanding that discipline and freedom can coexist when we choose them consciously. The practices we adopt become expressions of who we are, enhancing our journey rather than restricting it. In this way, the frameworks we create in life serve to deepen our alignment with our inner compass, rather than binding us to any external standard. Living in this way requires continuous inner listening and the willingness to course correct whenever we find ourselves drifting away from our true path. This is a dynamic process, one that encourages a fluid relationship with ourselves. There is no fixed destination, only a continuous unfolding of who we are. Each step along this path reinforces the freedom to be ourselves, releasing us from the need to achieve, prove, or justify. We walk freely, aware that each moment holds its own significance when we are true to ourselves. This freedom brings peace, a kind of joy that doesn't rely on circumstances or accolades. It is a lasting contentment, one that fills us with gratitude for simply being. Chapter 8. Creating Your Sanctuary. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, the concept of sanctuary transcends mere physical space. It embodies a state of mind and a way of living that fosters inner tranquility. This sanctuary is not confined to a specific location, but can be cultivated in any environment. It begins with an understanding that peace is a reflection of our internal landscape, shaped by the choices we make in our daily lives. To create this sanctuary, one must intentionally carve out spaces, both mental and physical, that resonate with serenity and comfort. This can be achieved through simple acts of mindfulness, such as pausing to breathe deeply in the midst of a busy day, or finding a quiet corner at home where one can retreat to reflect and recharge. These moments become sacred, offering an opportunity to reconnect with oneself amidst the noise and demands of life. The act of establishing boundaries around these spaces is essential. It allows us to protect our sanctuary from the external chaos that often intrudes upon our peace. Moreover, the environment we inhabit plays a crucial role in nurturing our sanctuary. Surrounding ourselves with elements that evoke calmness, be it through natural light, soothing colors, or the gentle sounds of nature, can significantly enhance our sense of peace. Each item in our space can serve as a reminder of what brings us joy and tranquility. Whether it's a collection of meaningful artifacts, plants that thrive in sunlight, or art that inspires reflection, these choices transform our surroundings into a true reflection of our inner sanctuary. In addition to the physical environment, the mental space we create is equally vital. Engaging in practices that promote mindfulness, such as meditation, journaling, or simply observing the world around us, helps us cultivate a mindset that appreciates stillness. In these quiet moments, we begin to uncover the layers of our thoughts and emotions, gaining insight into what truly matters. This clarity empowers us to let go of distractions and focus on what aligns with our personal values, further solidifying our sanctuary. Establishing rituals can also anchor this sanctuary in our daily lives. Rituals, whether formal or informal, create a rhythm that invites peace into our routine. This might be the simple act of enjoying a cup of tea in silence each morning, taking a walk in nature, or engaging in creative pursuits that allow the mind to wander. Such practices are not merely activities, they become sacred moments of connection with ourselves, reinforcing our commitment to nurturing our inner peace. Another important aspect of creating a sanctuary is fostering relationships that uplift and inspire. The company we keep significantly influences our state of mind. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who embody calmness, positivity, and authenticity enriches our experience of sanctuary. Meaningful connections provide support during challenging times and contribute to a collective sense of peace. Engaging in conversations that nurture understanding and empathy can transform interactions into moments of sanctuary, reinforcing the importance of emotional safety in our lives. In crafting our sanctuary, we also learn the value of simplicity. By letting go of unnecessary clutter, both physical and mental, we create space for what truly matters. This process of decluttering is liberating, allowing us to focus our energies on pursuits that align with our inner values. The less we hold on to what does not serve us, the more we invite clarity and peace into our lives. Flexibility is another crucial component of this sanctuary. Life is dynamic, and our circumstances will inevitably change. Recognizing that our sanctuary can evolve with us fosters resilience. It encourages us to adapt our practices and spaces in response to shifting needs and environments. This fluidity allows us to maintain a sense of peace even amid life's transitions, reinforcing the notion that our sanctuary exists within us, regardless of external circumstances. Ultimately, creating a sanctuary is an ongoing journey rather than a destination. It requires consistent nurturing and a commitment to returning to that space of peace, especially when faced with challenges. This journey is marked by self-compassion, as we learn to embrace imperfection and acknowledge that moments of chaos can coexist with moments of calm. Each step we take toward building our sanctuary deepens our relationship with ourselves and enhances our ability to remain grounded, no matter where we find ourselves. The power of creating a sanctuary lies in its ability to transform our experience of life. When we cultivate a deep sense of peace, we approach challenges with clarity and resilience, allowing us to navigate the complexities of existence with grace. This sanctuary is not a refuge from reality, but rather a foundation from which we can engage more fully with the world, enriched by the calm that resides within us. Chapter 9. Lasting Harmony. The pursuit of lasting harmony is an exploration of the intricate relationship between our emotions and our sense of peace. It involves recognizing that emotions are not obstacles, but essential components of the human experience. By understanding and embracing our emotional landscape, we can create a foundation for enduring tranquility. Finding lasting harmony requires us to shift our perspective on emotions. Rather than viewing them as fleeting feelings that must be controlled or suppressed, we can see them as messengers that convey valuable information about ourselves and our circumstances. Each emotion serves a purpose, guiding us toward deeper self-awareness. When we allow ourselves to feel fully, whether it be joy, sadness, anger, or fear, we engage in a process of exploration that reveals our values, desires, and boundaries. Cultivating emotional intelligence becomes key in this journey. It's about developing the ability to recognize our emotions, understand their triggers, and respond to them in constructive ways. This awareness helps us differentiate between reactive patterns and thoughtful responses, allowing us to navigate situations with clarity. Instead of reacting impulsively to external pressures or internal discomfort, we can choose responses that align with our true selves. This practice fosters a deep sense of inner calm, even amid external chaos. Furthermore, fostering a compassionate relationship with ourselves is vital in achieving lasting harmony. Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness we would extend to a friend. When we encounter difficult emotions, instead of harsh judgment, we can respond with understanding and gentleness. This shift in perspective creates a safe space for healing and growth, enabling us to process emotions without the added burden of self-criticism. In addition, practicing gratitude plays a transformative role in nurturing lasting harmony. By intentionally focusing on what we appreciate in our lives, we can cultivate a mindset that prioritizes positivity. Gratitude helps to reframe our experiences, allowing us to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than sources of distress. This practice enriches our emotional landscape, providing a counterbalance to negativity and fostering resilience. As we navigate the complexities of our emotions, creating rituals that promote reflection can significantly enhance our journey toward lasting harmony. These rituals might involve journaling, meditating, or engaging in creative expressions that allow for introspection. They serve as anchors, helping us process our feelings and gain insights into our emotional patterns. By setting aside dedicated time for reflection, we invite clarity into our lives, allowing us to align our emotions with our core values. Maintaining healthy relationships is another crucial aspect of achieving enduring tranquility. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who respect our emotional boundaries and support our growth creates an environment conducive to harmony. Engaging in open and honest communication fosters connection and understanding, allowing us to navigate the complexities of relationships with grace. The quality of our interactions directly influences our emotional well-being, making it essential to nurture connections that uplift us. Additionally, finding balance between our responsibilities and self-care is vital for lasting harmony. Often, we become so immersed in our daily obligations that we neglect our own needs. Prioritizing self-care is not an indulgence, but a necessity for maintaining emotional equilibrium. This may involve setting aside time for activities that bring us joy, practicing mindfulness, or simply ensuring we have moments of solitude to recharge. By recognizing the importance of our well-being, we cultivate a reservoir of peace that sustains us through life's challenges. Ultimately, the journey toward lasting harmony is an ongoing process that requires patience and commitment. It invites us to embrace the ebb and flow of our emotions while cultivating practices that promote resilience and self-awareness. Each step taken in this direction strengthens our ability to respond to life's ups and downs with grace, allowing us to maintain tranquility amidst the ever-changing nature of existence. In this pursuit, we discover that lasting harmony is not a static state, but a dynamic interplay of emotions, self-reflection, and mindful living. It encourages us to live authentically, celebrating our emotional diversity while fostering a deep connection with our inner selves. As we navigate this journey, we gradually uncover the profound peace that lies within, guiding us toward a life rich in meaning and fulfillment. Conclusion. As we draw this exploration to a close, it is vital to reflect on the journey we have undertaken, a profound odyssey into the depths of our being. We have traversed the landscapes of our emotions, unearthed the resilient spirit that dwells within, and embraced the art of remaining calm amid life's ever-changing rhythms. Each chapter has illuminated a pathway toward inner peace, revealing practices and insights that empower us to cultivate tranquility in the face of adversity. In a world where external validation often reigns supreme, we have learned the transformative power of self-acceptance. Letting go of the relentless pursuit of approval, we've stepped into a realm where our worth is defined not by the opinions of others but by the unwavering belief we hold in ourselves. This liberation allows us to navigate challenges with grace, responding to the world from a place of inner strength rather than fear or uncertainty. The stillness we have come to cherish is not a retreat from life, but a powerful embrace of presence. In the spaces between thoughts and actions, we find clarity and purpose. It is here that we discover the beauty of being, where we can connect deeply with ourselves and the world around us, fostering a sense of harmony that resonates through every aspect of our lives. Moreover, the practice of crafting our sanctuary, both within and around us, has become a cornerstone of our experience. We have the tools to create environments infused with peace and tranquility, places that nourish our souls and support our growth. This sanctuary is not limited to physical spaces. It extends into our minds and hearts, reminding us that we can always return to this oasis of calm, regardless of external circumstances. As we move forward from this moment, let the lessons learned continue to unfold in your life. Embrace the gentle art of letting go, the strength in stillness, and the power of self-reflection. Carry the insights gained here as guiding stars in your daily existence, illuminating your path even in times of uncertainty. Remember, the quest for inner calm is not a destination, but a lifelong journey, one that evolves with each experience, each challenge, and each triumph. In closing, may you walk forward with a heart full of peace, a mind attuned to the present, and an unwavering belief in your ability to navigate life with authenticity and grace. Embrace the freedom that comes from being true to yourself, and let the calm you have cultivated resonate in every interaction, every decision, and every moment. Your journey continues, enriched by the knowledge that tranquility is not merely a fleeting moment, but an integral part of who you are. Welcome this new chapter of your life, where serenity and strength intertwine, guiding you toward a future brimming with possibility.